Hello, my name is Marc Vincenz. It's an honor to read a small selection from my hybrid collection, Ironclad, a finalist for the 2025 Big Other Reader's Choice Book Award. And this from the beginning of the book, a few thoughts on the texts and fragments. How to elucidate the feelings aroused by this hapless archaeologist, sometime filmmaker, your recently appointed commissioner of the Iron Plier Society. Well, terrified, sweating profusely under the underlip, carrion birds circling, an electric storm gathering, a faint quivering of the ancestral voices, as they say back in the old country. We have finally succeeded in reaching into the distant past in these pages. In the very least, you'll feel a semblance of the emotions pumping through the wrists of your own progenitors. For centuries, we have grappled with the concept of what residue trailed behind, how the senses were manifested in the cosmic tides, and the cognitive apparition that was more confined to the tantalizing realm of the quantum. Modern science has simplified these tasks dramatically. We wish to thank the universities of New Netherlandia, Trottelheim, Zwei, and Ossetia B, Professor Smythe Listerman and Abidon Festerman from the Society of Iron Culture and Practical Understanding, and for the Commissioner General of Information and Bright Insight of our own illuminated city. Many of us had a whiff of the breadcrumb trail that would lead us to the end movement and the containment, and have persevered just as the holy twinned ravens and their sister serpent. Which prior citizen had deposited the great idea in the dusty medium of the soaring ash cloud? For every major innovation is the next in a generation of further cognitive eruptions, so saith the great smith, ploughing ahead with her fabulous solar irons. Dear citizens, in 17 and a half years, we have unearthed tens of millions of cubic hands of organic and inorganic matter that leap across millennia in a mere blink, almost as if your ancestor had turned back to face you eye to eye. And in that briefest fluttering of fingers or that sideways glance, handed you all their civil dreams, their savage aspirations and caustic inspirations. Peruse these chambers and walls and little known alcoves with an open mind, and know despite the eons they divide, the fathers and mothers they serve are almost the same as you and I. May we all find our misnomers in the dark and spell them out in an illuminating firelight, and may the union of Father Fire and Mother Oil inflame us all, intrepidly, ever cognitively, and as fiercely practical as always, yours, Citizen Smythe, Frederica Faustina Fleissen, Chairperson of the Society for the Preservation of Iron and Oil, City of New O. Part 1, a misnomer. Time and truth infuse your spinal cord with an immutable sense of lightness. Prelumination. An early archaeologist does her very best. And in her youth, as was the fashion of her aquatic ancestors, she dined on sea snails, periwinkles, mealy clams, clusters of imp seaweeds, seed shrimp and briny seagrasses. And these sustain her like a weathered river vein sensing her currents. Even through that uneven breathing as she wrestled anointed roots of copperwood tree upon copperwood tree, upcountry, terrestrially, from valley to sea, replanting them in the dirt, which was the place that begat our great mother city. Or so the ancient saying goes. Arm in arm, the fragrance of copperwood attends you through hill and dale, along well-worn wormweed trails, just as one godly eye follows you into the steady, steely storm. We feed off each other, silently, was once said, quite quietly. Of birth and space and time and light, The myth of O. Trees, trees, trees. On a walkabout with her conscience, an old woman wanders the savannah, dragging an old tree, sweeping up dust, copperwood, a balm for the soul. She heaves and sighs and coughs. Let me help you, let me carry your burden, says O, passing by. No, young woman, mine to carry. Alone, says the old woman. O trips on a rock, dances among the roots of an ancient tree as if the sky were falling, but rights her surer footing. You carry your own burden too, says the old woman, wheezing. And mine to carry alone, says O, palms on her knees, deep breathing. A mind is much to carry, says the old woman, and proceeds to hoist the old tree upon her shoulders. Tawdry leaves tangle in her wiry hair, until, to be fair, the weight falls upon her and drives her down through the surface beneath the earthworms, where accordingly the earth herself recounts another story of fire and brimstone, of theft and burden, and the rise and fall and rise of the surface bound, all the palm fronds splayed in virtuousness, on clasp in prayer, and so too the wiry fingers that fall upon heavy shoulders. O picks up the old tree, hoists it on her very own, and walks on. Twinned ravens, a plea. A minor mirror of twinned resplendent creatures, a major discourse cut between two of the same cloth, an infernal debate concerning those who are not at hand. When the island is seen, a vast luxuriating green, the cheers resound from here to the old motherland, and our two young ravens are returning from the shore. It has been sighted, they call out, and the people break out in vino veritas, empty every flagon and flask in sight, raise glasses and spirits, and flutes and mandolins serenade the night. Eventually, they strike land, drag heels through arid sands, until upon a clearing bright, in the midst of a cloud forest, the sun breaks through to reveal a tree stump with the face of an old woman. That's her conscience, a young girl with braids says. Her mother, an old woman, scolds. Shame on you, child. The tribal leader says, a good place to plant ourselves. We need to live in a place with a conscience, a place where we carry our own burden with no shoulders to fall upon, even in prayer. Meanwhile, the spirit of O observes from a wooded incline. O plus O plus O plus 1 equals O. And thus, by imperial decree, with a flourish of one hand, the new world was born on the seashore, at the edge of the jungle, among the crabs and caiman and the five-eyed newts. And such she was, woman of the holy serpent born, it was said, from the hot bosom of the volcano among the new and forgiven. Here at the face and the stump where the old woman's conscience was once again, one eye arched, hairy nostrils flared, reprimanding, right here at the heart of the city where this very morning goatherds strolled, the abundant inclines vendors plied their wares, each and every fish glimmering, each fruit in plenitude, mangoes bristling to the size of melons and blood oranges bleeding like coconuts, crustaceans and crabs of every hue of pink and red, and here too was where the woman of the holy serpent was entwined with the twin ravens and a mycelium now known to be the root of the decline of a civilization. Here we chose to raise our city. Let them all stare, let them point fingers, let them throw stones. And thus, by imperial decree, with the flourish of one hand, the new world was born on the seashore at the edge of the jungle. Thank you.